Our personal style evolves. It evolves over time. It's ever changing. It is constantly moving. We think and rethink and move back and move forward and change and completely overhaul. Throughout all of that, there's always some learnings. Today, I want to share with you the 10 plus size style tips that I wish I had known sooner. Hi, my name is Oralia. I'm a personal stylist. Today I wanted to touch on just the ever moving and changing evolution of my personal style. No big changes here. Everything is pretty much the same, but there are some things that do adjust and tweak and move around a little bit. And I wanted to touch on the things that in recent weeks, I guess that I have reconsidered or changed my stance on, and some things that I haven't changed my stance on and why, and then just a few other thoughts that I wanted to share. Now, the biggest reason that I am doing this video is that my room is a complete disaster at the moment. The most space I have to shoot is what you see right here. Just this space right here. I've got stuff behind me. I've got stuff to the side of me. I have stuff sitting right next to me. It's because I am doing a dressing room refresh or reset or glow up, however you want to call it. I'm redecorating the dressing room. And so everything is a mess in here. And I can't do any true blue styling videos for you at the moment. So we're going to sit down and have a style chat instead. So let's go ahead and let's dive in. I always used to say, always wear a belt. It will always finish your outfit. You always need a belt. But that's not always true. If you have noticed, I'm not wearing belts as often as I used to. It's summer. And generally during the summer, I don't like wearing a belt because it's too hot. I don't want things touching me or touching my skin. And a belt always does that. So I don't wear a belt as often during the summer as I used to. Even the straw belts. And one of the bigger reasons for the straw belts, not wearing them, is because I really want a good quality straw belt. That's straw and leather, or rattan and leather, or raffia and leather. I want to get a really high quality belt and I don't have one. So I'm not motivated to wear the ones that I have. Even still, I prefer during the summer not to go with a belt. But as we move into the cooler months, you're going to see me wearing belts again, because to me, belts are better for me at any rate during the fall, winter, and spring. There's a lot of chatter online about don't wear a belt, you don't have to wear a belt, especially if you've been through menopause and all of that. And while I agree with that to an extent, I think that plus size women should proceed with caution where this is concerned. I know that belts can be very polarizing for plus size women though, because a lot of plus size women feel that they can't wear a belt, or that they shouldn't wear a belt because it emphasizes their roundness. But I disagree with that. It all depends on the placement of the belt. You could absolutely wear a belt as long as you're not placing it on the widest part of your belly, because you're right, it is going to emphasize your belly. But if you wear a belt a little bit higher up at the smallest portion of your waist, then what you're going to do instead is you're actually going to make yourself look slimmer. So while some women, thinner women who might have a bit of a pooch, don't look as good in belts as they would like, for plus size women, a belt I think is really important because it will help to define the shape. The thing about being plus size is that we don't have the luxury of a standard sized woman to wear looser clothing, because if we wear looser clothing, we end up looking bigger than we actually are. If you're already thin and you're wearing something loose, then you don't look as big. You just look like you're wearing something that's a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more flowy. With plus size women, we have to be a lot more cautious about that. We can't just wear flowy things because we could end up looking a lot larger than we actually are. And that's not the goal, at least not for me. That's not the goal. So to belt or not to belt, I think that you look better with a belt. I think that plus size women in general look better with belts as long as they place it in the right spot. So that's where I stand on that. During the fall and winter, I love my belts. I wear them all the time. I just feel that they help me to look more finished. The outfit looks finished when you wear a belt. It just lends an air of tailoring and polish that you don't get when you don't wear a belt. That's not to say that you can't look tailored or polished without a belt, but I just feel that a belt really gives you that extra little oomph that helps an outfit to look a bit more finished, a bit more sophisticated, I guess is the word. So it is a polarizing topic. I know a lot of you plus size gals, and I get it in the comments all the time. I can't wear a belt. I can't wear a belt. You should try it. It takes a little bit of getting used to, not gonna lie. Even for me, when I started wearing belts, I had to ease into it. I couldn't just flat out start wearing belts because I had to get used to seeing myself in the belt, and I had to kind of learn where the best placement was for me for a belt. But overall, it is something that I absolutely don't regret. But I have softened my stance on it a little bit. You don't always have to wear a belt. It's not like an outfit necessity. But if you do choose to wear a belt, it's going to really go a long way to help to elevate your overall look. By the way, if there is anything that I talk about here in this video that I point out specifically as a product or whatever, I will be sure to have those products linked in the description bar as well as to a pinned comment here on my video. Additionally, if I can, it will pop on the screen, I think on this side, and or it will be as a part of a collection that I have created for this specific video that I will have linked in the cards here. And I will also try and link it on the end screen. I haven't been very good about that lately, but I'm hoping to improve. Anyway, as always, I implore you to shop your closet first. But if you cannot find it in your closet, or if it's just something that you want to add to your closet, that you want to supplement your wardrobe with, then you will have the opportunity to shop the pieces here. So with that said, let's go ahead and let's move on. To tuck or not to tuck. There is a time and a place to go untucked. But again, for plus size women, it is really important that we don't take it too far, because for a plus size woman, defining the shape is the best thing to do. Otherwise, you end up looking bigger than you actually are if you don't wear things that define your shape. Like I said, though, there is a time and a place for not tucking, because God knows I don't like to tuck all the time either. It gets exhausting, and sometimes I just want to be comfortable. And so in those situations, I make myself as chic as I possibly can without tucking my shirt in. I have a few really good tops that work very, very well as a no-tuck top, where I still look defined, but I'm not tucking my shirt in. I don't believe that you should tuck bulky into anything. So when it comes to like wearing a sweater, I don't like to tuck my sweaters in because it creates bulk. And you don't want that, because that actually has the opposite effect of defining your waist. It actually does make you look bigger. But if it's something thinner, like a button-up shirt, or something that is made of a knit, a really thin knit, or like just like a regular old like t-shirt, things like that, as long as it's not too big and boxy, you can tuck it in and it's not going to create bulk. It's not going to create all of that messiness, especially when you're doing it with jeans or stiffer fabrics like jeans. Silk is tricky no matter what, because it is so thin and it's shiny, and you can see every little line and lump and bump underneath silk. So it just depends, right, on whether or not you should tuck. And I think that there is nothing wrong with tucking. As a matter of fact, I think that more often than not, if you tuck your shirt in, you look better because it defines your shape. And again, thinner women have the luxury of not having to do these things because they don't stand to look bigger, like significantly bigger. When you're already a big person, you don't want to make yourself look bigger. So you have to be really, really cautious. And that's where I have kind of softened my stance, because I was always like, yep, 100% a tucker. But now I'm like, well, okay, yeah, sweaters, no, you don't want to tuck. During the summer, you absolutely don't want to tuck because it's too hot. So you just have to be cautious on what you're tucking. During the summer, I wear a lot of my linen shirts undone. I wear them out as like layering pieces. But during the winter, I tend to tuck my shirts into whatever I'm wearing because I just feel that, well, the biggest reason that I don't tuck during the summer is because it's hot. When we get to fall and winter, that's no longer an issue. So I have no problem tucking my shirt in as long as I know that it's not going to create bulk. So it's a call that you make on an outfit by outfit basis, also based on how you feel. Because again, tucking, just like wearing a belt, it's a bit of a Marmite issue with plus size women. Some women don't like doing it because they feel that they are exposing their belly too much. I say that actually not tucking makes you look bigger because you're tenting over the belly. And so it's better if you find a way to define your body somehow. If not by tucking, then with a belt. You could always take your button-down shirt and put a belt on over it and create a shape that way. But walking around with things that are loose and too flowy, that's definitely going to make you look bigger. Sometimes peplums don't work with a woman who has a belly because it ends up making her look pregnant, or the peplum will pop out. So those of us with a rounder belly have got to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to tucking or untucking. And my stance is always tucking is best, but it isn't always necessary. With body shapes, you can have one of two things. You can either have balance or you can have harmony. Balance is when you wear things to try and balance the proportions of your body out. Harmony is when you embrace what you have and you emphasize it even more. What I mean by this is, let's look at a inverted triangle, for instance. Somebody whose shoulders are very broad, but they're very narrow in the waist and hips. Renee Zellweger is a perfect example. If she wears something that's really flouncy, she's balancing her shoulders out. If she wears something that's very form-fitting and, something that's tighter around the shoulders, then she's embracing her body shape. She is wearing something that emphasizes her body shape. So that's the difference. For me, I have come to discover that I like fuller skirts, and they're a lot more flattering than you think on a plus size body because we are rounder. A full skirt is a round shape. And so with a full skirt, I feel that you are creating harmony with your round body shape, and it ends up looking very pleasing to the eye. Not to mention the fact that a fuller skirt will help to balance out a bigger belly and a bigger backside and big hips. And it emphasizes the smallest part of the body, which is the waist. So I get a lot of comments on my videos, plus size gals shouldn't be wearing full skirts, or full skirts, how can they be flattering? All of that. They are flattering because they are working in harmony with the shape of the body. And they emphasize the smallest part of the body. And they're incredibly feminine and beautiful. I love that about a full skirt, is that it really enhances the femininity that we have, especially if you're that type of style persona who loves the feminine. A full skirt is very flattering to pretty much every body type. Whether you're more angular, like an inverted triangle, or you are fuller in the hips, like you would be with a triangle shape, or you've got a round belly, or you've got an hourglass figure, or you are a rectangle. Any of those body types can benefit from a full skirt. It really offers a lot to the body, but you do have to be the persona that can carry off the full skirt, because there are certain style personas that don't exactly look good in a full skirt. A good case in point is Cameron Diaz. Let's talk about her for a little bit. She's a rectangle. She's got a very athletic body. If she were to wear something really full and very feminine, it just goes against her personality type, her persona, her style persona. Whereas somebody like Viola Davis, who is a romantic, she's very curvaceous and she's just very feminine, a full skirt is really going to emphasize that femininity in her. So in addition to considering how this looks on the body, you have to consider the person's personality type. And my personality type is one that is not sporty. I'm not a tomboy. I'm not bohemian. I definitely lean more traditional, more classic. I'm certainly not very avant-garde. So a full skirt is very flattering on me. I guess maybe I should have put this as another tip on here, but I'm going to tack it onto the full skirt one. But it applies across the board. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot wear. That is utmost importance. Wear what you love to wear what makes you feel good. But if what you're wearing doesn't make you feel good, then at that point you might want to consider taking the advice of a personal stylist or somebody that is close to you, that you trust, that has your best interests at heart. At the end of the day, though, try your best not to listen to what other people tell you what to wear and what not to wear. The best personal stylist is not going to tell you, absolutely do not wear that, don't wear that, don't wear that. A good personal stylist or a good person that's trying to help you with your personal style is going to let you embrace who you are. What they're going to try and do is lift you up and make sure that you are being the best that you can be. Even all of us online who are fashion enthusiasts, personal stylists, whatever, we're talking to you through a camera. We're not talking to you one-on-one. So get one-on-one help if you really, really want to hone your personal style, if you really, really want objective advice that's going to help you, not hurt you, and walk away from anyone that gives you absolutes, right? That gives you absolutely do not wear that, absolutely you cannot wear that, absolutely no. That person doesn't have your best interests at heart because they don't want you to shine through. They want their thought, their perception of you to shine through. A good personal stylist will guide you through, and they'll be gentle with you about it. Well, they might demonstrate a little bit of tough love, but they're actually there to help you. I got my style. When I first started doing fashion on YouTube, I was like, natural fibers, natural fibers, natural fibers. And I was like, wherever you can get them. But now that I'm a few years in and I've had a chance to explore natural fibers from a lot of different resources, whether it's the thrift store, big box stores, high-end stores, and whatever lies in the middle, not all natural fibers are created equal. There are different levels of softness, of quality, of sustainability with natural fibers. So I am really, really, really picky about the natural fibers that I pick. Even when it's like a blend, like a linen rayon blend. I recently culled a shirt that I loved when I first got, but I washed it and wore it, and it was just not good. It did not wash well. And so you have to be cognizant of that when you're shopping for your natural fibers. Where I have found the most consistency and quality with natural fibers is Quince. You had to know that Quince was going to come up because they are, to me, for the price point that you're paying, some of the best quality that you can get. And in some areas where Quince is concerned, they are bar none the best quality that you can get, regardless of the fact that they've got a reasonable price point. Their bedding and their bags are so good. The European linen is really soft and really beautiful, even after washing. The cashmere is amazing. The silk is so beautiful. The one area where I'm like a little iffy, and I've not tried them personally in this area, so I can't say for sure, and that is their denim. As much as I don't like wearing jeans, if you're gonna do denim, the best denim is denim that is hard denim, or that is more like 97 on up % cotton. Very little elastic. That's going to be your most durable, most just really in the long run comfortable denim, but it takes some time to get it there. Quince, on the other hand, mixes a lot of elastic in with their denim, and I just don't know that that's the best denim. It makes for comfortable denim. It degrades the quality of the denim, to be honest. That's just my own personal opinion. Other than that, though, when it comes to natural fibers, just be very selective and use your senses. Use your hands, your fingers to feel the fabric. And you'll be able to tell right away that it's good or not, because it's going to have a stiffness to it, or an itchiness to it, or a softness to it that is going to tell you that you're going to like it. It's very subjective too, on top of that, you know. Some people can tolerate scratchier fabrics than others, you know, like wool is a perfect example. Some people can tolerate it, other people can't. Alpaca is supposed to be super soft. I don't like it because it makes me itch, you know, so it just depends. It just depends, and touch it and feel it and be the judge for yourself. But my own personal experience, quince is definitely the way to go. I got my style. When they said that diamonds were a girl's best friend, what they meant was that wearing diamonds makes you feel amazing. They really do. I have got these diamonds. I'm wearing them today. I've got these diamonds that I got from Idol. They're lab created diamonds, so they're automatically really brilliant. There's no looking at them and making sure that they follow the 3 C's or 4 C's or whatever it is, a diamond, the quality grading for diamonds. I've had diamonds in the past. This isn't my first rodeo with diamonds, and they always, always make me feel amazing. They really do. They have this way of just making you feel just really beautiful because of the way they sparkle and they shine. And lab created diamonds are better. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're definitely better because they're not blood diamonds. They're, you know that they're ethically sourced, they're ethically produced. Any kind of diamonds will elevate everything. They make everything look better. But most importantly, what I've discovered, especially with this recent round of diamonds that I've gotten, they make me feel really, really bougie. They make me feel really, really elevated. They just do something for me in the sense that they just make me feel like I'm worth it. You know, they make me feel, to myself, not to the external, to myself, they make me feel good, beautiful, brilliant, sparkling, bougie. They make me feel just really, really beautiful. They really do. There's just something about diamonds that really speaks to you when you wear them. They elevate you, and they elevate any outfit. A simple pair of diamond studs or studded hoops or something like that, and you're good. You're golden. Well, actually, you're diamond. But I love, love, love how diamonds elevate you, not just from the outside, but from the inside. This one just recently came up because I was talking in my last video about this skirt that I found. It was that plum skirt with the tulle overlay that I saw on ThreadUp. I just knew that it was one of those pieces that I had to have because it was incredibly classic and stylish, and it was going to look good no matter what. The same holds true for a couple of full skirts that I've gotten. The black one from Amazon. When I saw that skirt from Amazon, I immediately snatched it up because I knew that that piece was going to work really, really well for me. Same holds true for the red one that I got from Old Navy. The same thing. I was all like, I need that because it's going to do everything in my wardrobe. It can go anywhere. It can do anything in my wardrobe. So there are a few pieces that I have picked up over time that I'm like, yes, that is something that I absolutely need to have for my wardrobe because it's going to go a really, really long way. And it's my style instincts. It was that moment that I just knew, and I trust my style instincts. I've always trusted my style instincts, but even more so now, I think, than I ever have in my life, been really, really attuned to my style instincts, you know, to where if my instincts say you need that, don't hesitate, put it in cart and check out now. You are just so certain that this piece is going to be a game changer in your wardrobe. I've had a few of those, and thankfully I like to say that my style instincts are pretty good and I'm very attuned to them. And so that's one of the things that has kind of come to the surface that I'm like, I wish I had trusted my style instincts my entire life, but also recognizing that I have got good style instincts is going to help me going forward. This point has actually come forward starting out with my home decor. If you've been watching my vlogs, I've been talking about the fact that I am leaning into a more of a dark academia kind of decor aesthetic. And through this exercise, I have realized that there is a part of me that loves back to school. It's always been a favorite time for me. Back to school. Why? Probably because I got a whole brand new wardrobe. And being someone who loves fashion and who loves her wardrobe, getting a whole brand new wardrobe every year was like magical. Now I equate that academia with going back to school. But more importantly, I have really realized traditional, classic, and elegant style that I strive for is rooted in an academia style. I love my GH Bass penny loafers. I picked up the tassel ones at the Nordstrom anniversary sale in the wine color, and I love them. I have got a cape from Ralph Lauren that I picked up at the Nordstrom anniversary sale that I'm thinking about hanging on to. I just love, love, love that aesthetic. And I love Ralph Lauren. He's one of my favorite designers that's alive right now. I love Ralph Lauren. He leans into that academic Ivy League kind of vibe, you know? And so I'm like loving that style right now. I always have. I just didn't realize it. And now that I'm much more aware and I trust my style instincts even more now. And that's why fall is my favorite time of year, is because it's that back to school season. And then comes Halloween, and then comes Thanksgiving, and then comes Christmas, and all of that old world kind of thing. I mean, I'm into it right now. And I've always been into it. I just didn't realize it. And so the style tip that I wish I had known sooner is that I am really about academic style. That's why I love blazers so much. That's why I love chinos, and I love loafers, and I love, you know, just all of that. I love all of it. Plaid. Oh my God, I love plaid. So yeah, that's something that's come to the surface most recently. I got my style. This was a lesson that I learned the hard way because I spent a lot of money on my Demelier basket tote. I would have to say that that's probably one of my biggest fashion regrets. That's not my vibe. I was trying to make it my vibe, and it almost succeeded because I picked the one with the black leather. But if I had my druthers, or now knowing better, doing a woven leather bag is much more my vibe. To me, a woven leather bag reads woman, whereas a straw or a basket tote reads girl. You know what I mean? And there's like a vast difference between the two. When you look at woman, girl, there's like, they're miles apart. They're the same, but they're miles apart. And the reason that I like leather woven bags so much, and I've realized that that's more me than a basket tote, is because they lean into the basket weave, you know, so you've got that woven quality that we tend to go for during the summer, but it's in leather. And to me, it reads more sophisticated, less girly. That's why I love my bag from Etsy that's inspired by the Dragon Diffusion Nantucket bag. And I want an actual Dragon Diffusion bag. There's another style that they have that I really, really want. There is something to be said for woven leather. I'm really, really leaning into that. I think that for the summer, my go-to bags are going to be leather woven, not basket. Canvas, on the other hand, is a different thing. Canvas is not a woven bag, so I'm going to hold that one out because I would be interested in buying a canvas leather trimmed bag. And like really eliminating synthetics. I know I said that maybe in 2024. I said I'm eliminating synthetics. I'm not going to do synthetics anymore, and yet I brought in a bunch of synthetics. But this year in 2025, I said it again at the beginning of the year, and I mean it this time. I have been ruthless in my closet with synthetics. And that's not to say that I'm going through and culling all synthetics. There are some synthetics that are staying, but most synthetics, and especially when it comes to what I'm bringing in to my wardrobe. If you notice with my haul videos, I am very, very particular with what I keep. First of all, I'm trying not to keep as much because I'm trying to get a balance and a handle on my wardrobe. But secondly, it's because I don't want shitty fabrics in my closet. Even to my earlier point of not all natural fibers are created equal, even at that level. So I'm being really, really, really discriminating with what I'm bringing in. It has to be natural and it has to feel good. I don't want to do a 100% purge of synthetics because there are some pieces that are of a synthetic fabric or material that I do like and that I don't want to get rid of, that I enjoy wearing or that I want to wear. So I'm not getting rid of everything, but anything that makes me itch, anything that makes me just not feel my best is going. And I'm still working through that. But I have gotten rid of a significant amount. I was pretty ruthless when I did my sweater clear out at around the holidays. I did it during Vlogmas, and I went through and did it again off camera. And I was very, very ruthless for that second round, and I got rid of a lot. I am really, really glad that I am replacing all of my synthetics. It is starting to extend into my handbags and my shoes. I am starting to cycle out anything that is synthetic in my shoes and handbags and starting to bring in natural materials like leather or, you know, suede. It's happening. So I'm really, really finally, truly sticking to that. I got my style. This one, again, could be controversial because I know that there are a lot of you out there who love florals. And if you do, by all means, you do you. I'm not going to tell you not to wear florals. I, myself personally, am not going to purchase any florals. I'm not going to show you florals unless there's something exceptional about the floral. But for the most part, I'm not bringing in any florals into my own wardrobe. I have purged, I think, all of my florals from my wardrobe. I've got a couple of things that I really like that have a floral print or have got kind of that kind of vibe, you know, a toile kind of vibe. But I do not have any more florals. Now, what I have replaced them with are stripes and polka dots. And I know you ladies don't like stripes. I know that a lot of you may feel that stripes are just no for a plus size gal, and I disagree with that. Stripes are classic. Stripes are beautiful. And as long as you're not wearing big fat stripes, then you're fine. It's all about the scale. I do not have anything that's got a wide stripe, and I don't think anyone should have anything that has a wide stripe. I think the best stripe is a thin stripe or a thinner stripe. It doesn't have to be super skinny, but the thinner stripes. Those are the best stripes for anyone, regardless of body type, regardless of size. That's the best stripe because that's going to be the most classic. Then, of course, there's polka dots. I love my polka dots. Polka dots are beautiful. I think polka dots are very classic. I think that they are just, they're gorgeous. I love polka dots. So polka dots are not going anywhere. And by the way, if you are a round body type, a polka dot is a pattern for you if you want to get away from florals as well. And then there's leopard print. Leopard print is the only organic pattern that I keep in my wardrobe these days. I don't have any florals, but leopard print I absolutely do have, because to me, leopard print is like the epitome of class. Dior created the leopard print on fabric, and anything he does, well, he can do no wrong, in my opinion. He could do no wrong. And so I absolutely love leopard print. Not just because of that. I do love leopard print just because I think it is a beautiful pattern. It's neutral. As long as it's happening with colors that occur in nature, the classic brown, tan, black, cream is it for me. I've eliminated florals from my wardrobe simply because they don't align with my own personal style. If you lean boho, if you lean into romantic, you know, if you're those two style personas, or if you're just a person who loves floral prints, then please wear them. Don't let me stop you from wearing them. This is my style tips that I am embracing. But I will say that they can be very tricky to style. You want to make sure that you're getting the right scale in floral, the right colors, the right type of floral. I mean, florals can go wrong very, very quickly. I would just leave you with that cautionary point. They can be tricky to style, but if you like them and you know how to style them, then by all means, do what you're going to do. For me personally, I don't want them in my wardrobe anymore. I went through my florals phase and I'm done with it. And Yeah, florals no more for me. They've never really been my style. Planning out my weekly outfits. That has been a game changer for me. But if you want to learn more about why, then you'll need to subscribe to my Substack because I am writing an article about that. It will release, well, on Thursday, which is the day after this video releases. So make sure to go subscribe to my Substack. The link to my Substack is down in the description bar down below, or you can just go to Substack and look for More Than Fashion. That is my handle on Substack. Trust me when I say it has been a big, big game changer for my personal style. And I learned a lot about myself, something that I was leaning into that I thought was me, but isn't. I'm going to leave you with another video here that YouTube thinks that you will enjoy. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today and for tolerating my rant on style tips, and hopefully I didn't ruffle too many feathers, but you know, that's my opinion. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's my channel, my rules. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I also hope to see you in those videos. Bye.